just to see my disciples here, center. We have got a center here. So, occasionally I visit my center all over the world. So, for that purpose I have come, as well as to let you know more about our philosophy, if you are interested.
Can you tell me a little bit about it, please?
The Krishna consciousness movement is to give the human society a chance for solving all the problems of their life. In the present context of civilization, they are interested in the bodily comforts. Whatever scientific advancement you are making, just to give more comfort to the body. Unfortunately, none of us is the body. We are spiritual. We are changing different bodies. As you can see in our presence, there are so many living entities. And this body can be changed to any one of them. Today I am in human body, tomorrow I may be in the body of a dog. So this cycle of changing body is going on. The modern science has no knowledge about this thing practically. They are simply identifying with the body. So according to Vedic civilization, anyone who is identifying with the body is not a human being, he is an ass. Jashatma buddhi kunapi tudhati sadhik kalatra disu bhoma yajyadhi jatirtha buddhi shalile na karhi ched janeshu avigneshu saeva gokar. Go means cow and khara means ass. Such a person is either a cow or an ass who is identifying with his body as self. This body is a bag of bones and flesh, blood and urine. So, I am not this body. I am within this body. But people are identifying with this body. So, this is the grossest type of ignorance. And we are trying to dissipate this ignorance and bring people to real consciousness, real identity. And that is called Krishna consciousness.
Now you mentioned some particular problems that you wanted to help people with, and then you spoke of the general problem of the body as opposed to the spiritual.
Well, when the particular problem is this repeated change of body. There is no science or university. Everyone wants to lead. The medical science is trying to give greatest relief from disease, but they cannot stop disease or death. That is the problem. Although the problem is there, they are trying to solve, but they have no means. Here is the means.
You mean this Krishna consciousness
Yes,
can
that
solve?
is the means. There are prominent problems, but death, old age and disease. There is no science which has solved this problem. Nobody wants to die, but death is there. They are trying to stop increase of population, but the birth is there. The medical science giving us good medicine, but they cannot stop disease, neither death. These are the problems. Why they are neglecting these problems? What is their remedy for this problem. Is there any remedy for these four things?
Now, what can Krishna consciousness do about
Yeah,
death?
that is a great science. One has to learn how to make these problems to solve. But here is the medicine, or here is the solution for all these problems.
But how can Krishna consciousness...
How, that is, one has to learn it. If you say how one becomes past MA examination, but that is not a thing to be learned in half an hour, 15 minutes. There is a science you have to undergo, training, that as these boys and girls are going under training. You have to come to us, you have to try to learn what is the subject matter, you have to undergo the process. But from the examples, or we have got volumes of books written on this matter, so you have to learn from those books. You have to undergo practical training, and then you will learn how it is. It is not such a trivial question that in 10 minutes interview I can explain.
Is Krishna consciousness sort of achieved after a period through application and study?
No, it is simply agreement. The process begins to accept God, first of all, and to surrender to God. But nobody is prepared to surrender to God. Neither they are prepared to accept God. There is a division. But as soon as one accepts that there is God, God is great, and I am subordinate, and my business is to surrender unto Him, then immediately he becomes Krishna conscious. But that is not a very easy thing. People will not agree to it. But therefore, training required, association required. But the method is so simple, it can be achieved in 1 second. But that nobody is accepting that method. But if one accepts that method, it is a business of 1 minute. It is not difficult. God is there, that's a fact. You are here, that's a fact. But the surrender is not there. And to come to the surrendering point, he requires training, agreement.
Are you happy with the way the mission's going in Australia, the centre?
Are you happy with the way the mission is going in Australia, where activities?
But after all, it's a difficult job, because to accept God or to know God, that's very difficult. Out of many thousands of people are anxious. One may be very much anxious to know what is the highest perfection of life. And those who have attained the perfection of life, out of many thousands of them, one may know what is God actually. So to know God actually is not a very easy job. So those who are coming to this Krishna consciousness movement, they are very fortunate, because they are not in the category of ordinary men. They are serious to know about God. Therefore you cannot find in our group many thousands of people. Only selected fortunate people. So, but anyone can become fortunate, provided he agrees that there is God, and I must submit to God. That's not. But that mentality is very rare to be found. It has to be created. Therefore you will find not very many followers of this Krishna consciousness movement, but one who is following is very fortunate.
How many centres are there altogether then? How many have you opened personally yourself?
52.
You've opened all of them? I see.
52 in outside India, but in India there are many thousands.
I see. And What specifically will you do in Australia? How long will you be here for, and what will you do while you're here?
Well, I'm going from Australia day after tomorrow.
Hmm.
So I simply came to see my disciples, how they are doing, to give them direction, further direction to improve. That's all. But if the Australian people like to hear me, I invite any scientist, any philosopher to understand. But I don't think they are interested.
Why do you suppose that is?
What is that?
Why do you suppose they're not interested?
Because there's too much material involved with this bodily concept. They think this body is everything. Therefore, we must give. Just like I have been to the beach. Many young men, they are very stout and strong, walking and running. And they are interested in this body. And they are not interested in the spiritual subject matter. That is the training they have got. Nobody is interested. We are creating interest on behalf of God. That is our business. We are servants of God. We are trying to save people from the cycle of repetition of birth and death in different varieties of species of life. But even the great scientists, great philosophers, they do not also want to understand science. What can you do?
Have you found this attitude also in other areas that you've opened centres?
Yeah, unless that interest, how we have opened so many centers. There are interested persons, but their number is very little. It is not that zero, but there are many persons who are interested. We are selling our books, we are selling our magazines, we are recruiting members, they are dedicating their life for this cause. But it is not like a political movement that you speak some jugglery of words and many thousands of people come and join. It is a great science. Only cool-headed, fortunate man can understand.
Tell me, you talk about the spiritual and how we've neglected this with our emphasis on material things, but what place is there for the material things?
We are not neglecting material. Just like you are taking care of your body, I am also taking care of my body. But the difference is that I am not thinking that I am this body. But others are thinking that they are this body. That is it. Just like if you taking service from your car, so you don't identify yourself with the car, but you take care of the car to take service. Similarly, we are taking service of this body because we are living, so I must eat, or I must sleep. So it is not that we are not eating or not sleeping, but our eating is different from ordinary eating. We discriminate eating. We don't eat so many things. We simply eat things which may keep my body just fit for understanding and executing this mission of life. That's all. Let's take for example, we don't take meat, we don't take egg, fish, we don't take liquor or any sorts of intoxicants, even up to the cigarette, coffee, tea, because we know these things are superfluous. Nobody learns to smoke from the beginning of life, but the child requires to eat something. That's a fact. But it doesn't require to smoke. So these are artificial things. So we have to minimize the non-necessary things.
But does the child, for example, require to achieve Krishna consciousness?
Yes. Every human being is given the chance by nature's way. You are given this human form of body, civilized man, with developed consciousness to understand this problem of your life. The animals cannot understand. You have come here because you are human being. A dog is not coming, a cat is not coming, because they are animals. So this Krishna consciousness movement is for the human being. So every human being not only shall take care of his body, but should take care of his problem, because he is eternal, he is changing body after body, and that is very botheration. And there is no guarantee what sort of body you are going to get next. Even if you are going to get a body next life, you must have a better body. Or the best thing is you must have eternal body. If such solution is there, why the human society should neglect it? That is their foolishness. So we are trying to give this information to the human society, but they are so callous, they are so bodily conscious that they are not very much serious about it.
Thank you.
Child is changing boy. The boy is changing body to youth, but young man does not like to change his body to old age. Rather, the old man who wants to come back to his youthhood ages. So, similarly, nobody wants to die to change this body also, but that is being forced. But they do not take it as a problem. How nonsense there. I did not want to change my body from youthful to this old age, neither I want to give up this body. Even a very old man, the doctor says it is hopeless now. Still, the doctor find out some medicine, he can say, that's it. This is, I don't want this. Still, they do not take it as a problem. Such a foolish civilization. I don't want old age, I don't want die, but death is forced upon me, old age is forced, and there is no solution. And they are declaring themselves scientists, philosophers, advanced. They are avoiding the major problem. And still they are proud of the civilization, advancement of knowledge. They see their stupidity. There is a problem, big problem, and they cannot solve it, and still they are proud of their advancement of knowledge. How much foolish there is considered. And we have to deal with all these rascals and fools. So there must be some hard labor. Because we are servant of Krishna. We have to execute the order of Krishna. That is our business. Success or failure, that's not our business. Krishna says that you surrender unto me. We have to preach this cult. You surrender to Krishna. And you be saved from the problems of the life. That's our business. They may not hear it. That is up to them. But as servant of Krishna, we have to push on.
I think they are hearing it still, Prabhupada. Somehow or other they are hearing it.
Yes, any sane man will hear. But major portion of the so-called leaders of the society, they are callous. And still they are proud. They cannot make a solution. And still they are very much proud of their education, their social status.
World of names.
Huh?
World of names.
What can be done? But we have to do our business. Despite all hindrances, all obstacles, because we are servant of Krishna. We have to remain faithful to our master. I don't mind whether one is taking this philosophy or not. That doesn't matter. We have to try our best. But as soon as this service is done with some selfish motive or personal interest, then it is spoiled. Then it is spoiled.
Our success is our surrender, not our...
Huh?
Our success is our surrender.
Because sometimes we get honor. Just like I become spiritual master, I'm getting honor, I'm getting respect. But if I want to utilize your service for my personal comfort and do not actually preach Krishna consciousness, then I am another fool. But as soon as you surrender to Krishna, the whole business is done. My business is to introduce you to Krishna, to convince you somewhere or other that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You surrender unto Him and you will be happy. That is mine.
Thank you very much for dragging me back.
Yeah. So that business I must do. I am dedicated my life for that business. That is my interest also. Nacha tasmat manushriti says, anyone trying to introduce this philosophy to my devotee, he is my great, dear to me. So in order to become recognized by Krishna, it is my duty to do my best to introduce as many persons as possible to Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness movement. I give you the information. I don't say that you surrender to me. But I say surrender to Krishna.
Krishna says, surrender to my devotee.
That is another thing. Krishna is very kind. Krishna is very obliged. Krishna, Vijatama, if you render service to Krishna, 1%, he is willing to give you protection 50%. That is Krishna, he is great. Just like a great man, if you give him little service, he rewards you more than you expect. And what to speak of Krishna? He is the greatest of all. If you give him little service, he gives you more than you expect. That's a fair. But not that because he will give me something more than expectation, I am giving service. That mentality is not good. I should render my service in all circumstances without any expectation of profit or return. A pure devotee does not ask any return from Krishna. Rather, a pure devotee refuses, even if it is offered by Krishna. Because that will be business. So I do something for some return. Prahlad Maharaj flatly refused in the presence of Nrsimhadev. Sir, we are so prone to accept this material benediction, and your great personality is offering. So it is a great allurement. Kindly save me. I am not a merchandise man that I want something from you for an instant. That was his answer. He refused. You see, God wanted to give him something and he refused. And he was pleased, yes, here is my real self. But he was given everything. But by that refusal he was very much pleased. Not that he was offended. Oh, I am offering and you are not accepting? No, he was very much pleased.
And we're in love with each other.
Here is a real servant. That is the reciprocation between devotee and Krishna. A devotee does not require anything. Why study? Krishna gives him all protection. Why bother him? Or give me protection. Asking him protection will be a greater job. No. If he wants to give me protection without asking, he will do it. Why should I ask him? And make my position degraded. The devotee never asks to Krishna anything. He simply asked for the opportunity to serve his servant. Prahlāda Maharaj said, give me opportunity to serve your servant. He doesn't want to serve him directly.
What is that? That Lord Chaitanya was saying, how does that go? The Sanskrit, that he's a servant.
Yes, Lord Chaitanya is a teacher, he is teaching us that Gopi Bhaktu Pada Kamala Dasa Dasana Dasa. I am the servant of the servant of the servant of the master of the gopis, the maintainer of the gopis. Krishna is never directly approached. Bread, and one day death comes and kicks on his bread and he is finished off. Now if you are so bad, just try to save yourself. Where is your brain? Or make another brain like you, so that at the time of your death, the brain will act upon your brain. And you went back. He is dependent on God, Krishna. He still is not ideal. But when Krishna will come as death, he will like, my God, this is death. Krishna said, to such rascals, I will come as death. Then they will believe that there is God. So far we are concerned, they are as good as an ordinary man. Because they do not know actually the real problem of life. But they are part of all, we are problems of life. But then your science is perfect. And simply jugglery of all theories, what will help? Stop death, stop birth, stop disease, stop old age. Then I shall understand that you are a scientist. That is not in your power. If the problems are there, real problems, then what is the use of the science? Simply by advertisement. This so-called comfortable life for a few years, and then becoming a dog and a horse, a tree. It is possible. If your next life you become a tree, you stand up for 10,000 years in one place. Would you like? In childhood, the teacher said, stand up on the bench. That was so much trouble.